So firstly, happy Easter everyone. I hope you are enjoying my hat and this beautiful weather. We did a live stream with Cotswold Outdoors yesterday on Instagram, and so we would like to release it here because it answers quite a few of your questions that you've been asking us. Plus we get to make a pizza using the Ridgemonkey on a barbecue. So hopefully it's going to give you some ideas for the weekend and beyond. So hopefully you'll enjoy this.
You're now live.
Hi! Diddy! Oh, that's a grumpy face.
Hello everyone.
If anyone is there yet, say hello. Hello, Big Harry. Hello.
Can you hear us okay? It's quite windy here today, but hopefully you can hear us okay. Yeah, there's definitely
people are slowly
here.
Joining. Hello everyone. Give us a wave if you're here. Oh, hello to Roger is one of our biggest supporters. He's fantastic. He's put stickers all over the place, hasn't he?
He has, he has.
We've been trying to get stickers everywhere too. Hello!
So on today's live stream we're going to be doing a bit of cooking for you. We've got the barbecue out and we're going to do some pizzas.
This is a pizza that you can do in a camper van because we are, if you don't know us, we're Above and Beyond. We do camper van videos about travels and adventures and different reviews of different camper vans. We've got a lot of experience. We've been doing this 4 years now, haven't we?
We have,
It's
yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And we've got a new edition. And
this one.
Our old edition has decided not to join us. Come here.
Bentley is here.
Come here, Bieber. Come on.
Long-term viewers will know Bentley.
Come on.
Pooch.
There we go. So we've got our huge golden retriever Bentley here who likes to steal my hat. That's why he's staring at my head.
But if any of you have any questions during this live stream, just fire them in the comments below and we shall have a look.
No.
We'll have a look through and we'll answer as many questions as we can. But Lizzie's going to do a bit of cooking for us. She's going to...
Hopefully it'll work out. I've never done it on a barbecue before. I've always done it on a hob because most camper vans obviously have hobs. Not many of them have ovens, and who doesn't miss pizza when they're away travelling? So we're going to cook a pizza. But also if you've got any questions, fire them through to let us know, and we'll try and answer them as we go along too, about travels, adventures, anything that you want to ask us, feel free.
Just don't ask us what camper van we bought next because we won't answer. It's a secret.
Yeah.
Let's fire on then with some
up.
cooking. So what have you done to start with?
So to prep,
I'll bring you guys a bit closer.
What I bought is this is pizza dough. We've used this before. This is from the Northern Dough Company. They're really good. We've used this in our camper van quite a few times now, and it's been really good. Defrost it thoroughly first.
Because it comes frozen, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I've defrosted these ones earlier. This is actually, that's one. There we go. That's one altogether, but I've cut it in half because it fits better in what you need next. Now this is what we are famous for, I'd say.
Yeah, we use these a lot. This is a Ridgemonkey.
This is a Ridgemonkey. It's basically like an oven that you can use on your hob in a camper van. So it's amazing. So it basically has two sides to it. It's got a lid like this.
Yeah, this is actually one of the older ones. The more modern ones, you can take the handles off and stuff, and it's a bit easier to pack away.
But because we don't actually have a camper van at the moment, we weren't quite sure where all our equipment was. So
it's in storage.
We pulled this one out last minute. So anyway, what I've done is I've got one half of the dough already in the bottom there. All I've got underneath is just flour. I've got the biggest bag of flour, by the way. Look at how big this bag of flour is. You'd think it was this time last year when no one can get hold of flour. It's like I'm storing it up. Anyway, what I'm going to do next is basically just what you do for a normal pizza. So I've got some tomato stuff here. This is a roasted garlic.
Our dog's going mad because our neighbour's putting the bins out. So you can hear it going crazy. Of all the times, typical. Anyway.
No, I've forgotten a spoon. Can you talk to the camera for 1 sec?
Yeah, so let me just see if there's any questions on here. We've got any on here. People can hear us, which is good. Do you like Harvey's hat? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. But yeah, there's plenty of people saying hi. But yeah, so we've had a few questions sent through because Lizzie asked a few people before about some questions, and probably one of the questions that we get asked all the time is how we find campsites, how we actually pick the campsites that we're going to stay at. And we have a bit of a procedure that we go through, because we're quite specific on the type of campsites that we like, because
I've got a spoon.
Because we have a dog and we want to go places that we can easily walk the dog from the campsite, especially when you've got a camper van like ours where you put the pop top up and you might have an awning connected. You don't really want to be driving places to walk the dog. So we have a bit of a method of looking for a campsite, and the way we start is, first of all, we decide where we want to stay. So whether it's the Lake District, whether it's North Wales, whether it's anywhere, and we then we'll then look through and we'll decide what kind of campsite we want. So we might search, if we fancy somewhere luxurious, we might search luxury campsites in the Lake District. We might search campsites with a lake, because we might take a paddleboard, that kind of thing. So we do that first, and narrow it down that way. And then the key thing that we kind of flip between is we'll look at the campsite and see where it is, and then look on Google Earth, and that gives you a really good idea as to whether it's going to be easy enough to walk from that particular campsite. So yeah, we do a lot of that, and generally when we're traveling through Europe, we do a lot of that the night before, because we often stay in one campsite for 1 or 2 nights and then move on. I tend to sit there in the evening and search where we're going to head to next by doing that exact procedure. So sometimes it can take quite a while, and it can be quite frustrating if I keep finding places where it doesn't look like you can walk from the campsite, and that is a real big thing for us. Looks like Lizzie is...
So what I've done, I've just put some tomato sauce on it, just as you would do a normal pizza. Then we've got some cheese on there and some pepperoni. So we're just going to try it. Now the idea is you need to have a really low heat. So if you're using a hob, put this on a really low heat at first.
Like the lowest it will go. The absolute lowest it will go. Obviously with a barbecue, it's not as easy to choose the temperature, so it might need to be
really interesting to see if this actually works.
It might need to be lifted up a bit higher, but
we've never tried this before. Bentley's back again. He's finished barking at the neighbour now. Can you see any more questions?
Yeah, so we've got someone's asked what's the make of the dough. So that's Northern Dough Company, isn't it?
Yeah, Northern Dough Company.
We absolutely love that. In fact, the first time we used that, they'd actually, someone who worked for the company had seen our video, and they tweeted and said thank you for using our dough. So yeah, big shout out to them.
They did say they were going to send us some though, and they never did.
I want like a year's supply of them, preferably
but we
with the
still
top.
buy it because we love it.
What else we got? So someone's also asked, have you got the Ridgemonkey saucepan type as well?
Yes, we do.
We have.
Actually, yeah, and that's been really good. So we took that away with us around Europe this time last year. Obviously not during lockdown, it was just before, but when we were in Spain and Portugal, we were using it to make some really nice curries.
Yeah.
And considering I was pregnant at the time and everything made me feel sick, the curries was about all I was craving, wasn't it? And they were amazing in it. So you can leave them just on the hob to just boil away, and it's so good.
Yeah, and again,
really clever.
It acts like a bit of an oven as well, a bit of a bigger oven.
Yeah.
What else we've got?
Really like them.
Someone says, can you drop it round when it's cooked, please? Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem at all. Someone's also said, I bet wild pizza tastes better than shop bought.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
And another thing that you can do in these Ridgemonkeys is garlic bread, which is like the best thing ever. It's the best garlic bread.
It's better than in an oven, isn't it? It's
How's it
so
looking?
much better. It is. I hope. Well, I don't know. I'm a bit scared.
Go on, open it. Let's have a look. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall down. Can you see that?
Oh, it's looking good actually.
Ooh.
So it's best to keep it shut really. You don't really want to open it too often. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully it doesn't burn on the bottom, because that's really what you're trying to avoid, isn't it?
Yeah.
But fingers crossed it'll go all right. I was going to do some cookies on this as well. You can do all sorts in the Ridgemonkey, which is what's amazing about it. So we've done cookies before, and even there was one video I did cupcakes. Do you remember?
Yeah. Did it for Valentine's Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, years ago. That's when we were still without a child and we still loved each other.
Someone said I was fooled by your April Fool's post.
Oh, sorry. We haven't actually bought an aeroplane.
I thought that was quite good though.
It was quite good. It was good. Well, the pictures though were from about 9 years ago.
Yeah, a bit fresh faced then.
Yeah, you didn't have your beard.
Yeah.
You grew your beard after our wedding, so none of our wedding photos were relevant within like a few weeks because they just didn't look like us, did they? And I got all my hair cut off and gave it to charity, didn't I? So
questions have we got on the?
Let's have a look, because we got some great questions before we even started. So,
do you have any tips for camping with a baby or toddler?
Well, if you have any, send them to us.
Yeah, because we've not done it. He arrived in the middle of a pandemic, and yeah, we've not been allowed to go anywhere yet.
He's good as gold, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think he would actually really enjoy camping, and we have every plan to take him constantly travelling.
Absolutely,
don't we? Yeah.
He's gonna see the world, definitely.
Yeah, and Bentley, of course. We're not forgetting you. Don't you worry.
He's looking. It's because he can smell the food now.
Yeah,
So he's turned up again.
He's like, what's going on here? What have you got?
Oh, is it? It smells good.
It does
smells
smell
really good. Another question. Someone said.
Oh, that is looking good. Actually, you might want to have a look.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's bring you into
Do you know
look.
what? That smells unbelievable.
Smells
I wish it was
absolutely
smell-o-vision.
good.
Have a look. Oh, so the cheese is starting to melt. The pepperoni's starting to go.
How's the base looking?
I think.
Because that's always the bit that's quite tricky to stop
Yeah.
from burning.
No, it's all
Looks
right at
good.
the moment. Yep, all good.
Someone else has asked, what's our favourite UK campsite?
Ooh.
That's quite a tricky one because it depends on the region, obviously. But
Well, we would have originally said Old Oaks, wouldn't we?
yeah, we used to go to Old Oaks a lot, but that is an adults-only campsite. But it's
So it's dead to us now.
the facilities.
Now that we've had a child.
The facilities are like top-notch.
Yeah.
The pictures are all really good. You can walk to Glastonbury,
Yeah.
the actual town.
The Glastonbury tour is
Yeah.
very close by as well, isn't it? And that's a really nice walk up the hill.
But-
Although we had to transfer some sheep, didn't we, to get there, and we had Bentley with us,
Yeah.
and that's always a bit scary.
Yeah, they're a bit. Yeah, they weren't too sure whether he was a sheep as well. But someone actually messaged me a couple of days ago because they were planning on going to the Scottish Highlands, and one of our favourite campsites that we've actually got a story to tell about that because we found it by complete accident. And often this happens. You'll plan your routes and you think, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to stay there, this day, that day. But what you'll actually find
We've got a bit black on the bottom.
a bit burnt on the bottom. We won't show that. We'll cut that out. But yeah, sometimes you'll plan to look at you'll plan to go and stay at certain campsites. But what you'll find is that something will come up. Now, we were staying in a campsite called Bunree Campsite in Scotland. Absolutely stunning campsite. It's a caravan and motorhome club site. Highly recommended. So yeah, if you ever up that way, stay at that campsite. And we had planned to then head a bit further north, but Bentley. Oh, the pizza is done.
Check that out.
That looks amazing.
Boiling hot. I think we went a few seconds over, and unfortunately that's burnt the bottom a little bit. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. We'll show you. It's not too bad at all. There you go. So it's not bad. We're partially there. I'm going to do another one though.
Sounds good. But yeah,
Don't know if I put this.
so we were staying at Bunree Campsite, but Bentley actually ended up injuring his paw, and we had to go to the local vets. And they were really, really good. They sorted him out, fixed him up, gave us some antibiotics. But one of the nurses there actually said, "Oh, have you ever been towards Mora?" And obviously we hadn't. We'd never been that way at all. And she basically showed us where it was on the map. And we headed that way instead because it was a recommendation. We headed that way, and there's a campsite. What's the place called? Is it Sunnyside touring and camping site? And the beach is beautiful, white sandy beaches. The sea was clear blue seas. The weather was absolutely fantastic. It was incredible, and we would never have found that if it wasn't for obviously the unfortunate situation that Bentley was in. So yeah, good things came from that, which was really good. So that's another campsite that we highly recommend. The weather actually changed overnight, and it was pretty horrific the following day, which is pretty much what Scotland does all the time. But yes, highly recommended.
Right, now a top tip here is when you get the dough, do not work it too hard or anything. Literally, once it's defrosted, just stretch it.
You're not going to throw it up in the air
Don't.
like they do in Italy.
Hang on.
No.
You asked for it. Did it work? So, once you've stretched it out, you can just pop it in the bottom of the pan. Again, exactly like I have. I've just used a bit of flour in the bottom again. You might want to use a little bit of oil.
I was going to say, could you use oil?
You can use oil. I tend to use a bit of oil and flour if I can. But I've forgotten the oil, so we'll keep going.
We've got any more questions?
Pizza thing.
Need your face to unlock it. Thank you. See what other questions we've got. Someone else has said, what's your must-have piece of kit for a trip?
Ooh.
Well, Ridgemonkey is very, very high up there, definitely. We use it all the time.
We do. We even use it at home, which is even better.
Yeah, I would say probably the Ridgemonkey is the highest on our list, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right there. But, I mean, other equipment-wise, like, it depends what you're going for, really, because we've been on many travels where we've needed, like, an awning or something, and we wanted that outdoor space, and we wanted to take the camper van elsewhere, so quite often an awning is quite a good one.
Yeah.
Nice seating to sit outside. Although the camper van comes with quite nice seats, but they're not as comfortable.
We have like a storage bag sometimes on the back. That's handy to give you extra storage. And also mattress topper. The beds are fairly comfy, but a mattress topper just gives you that much nicer, much better night's sleep. Someone else has asked...
big coat, usually.
How do you name your vans, your camper vans?
That's my favourite question. Well, Sean hates the fact that I name our vans.
I've never really got it, naming vans. I'm obviously in the minority, I think. Loads of people name their vehicles, but...
Whereas I have named every single one of our cars and vans. So we had a VW California, we named that Hollywood. And obviously Hollywood is in California, so you'd think naturally that was the reason why we did it. But actually, all of our cars and vans have been named after Top Gun characters.
Yeah, we're
so
a
Hollywood.
big Top Gun fan. And there's a new film coming out soon, isn't there? So
yes. Thankfully we've run out of names.
Yeah, so. It can give us some more names, because it's not just the camper vans that we name after Top Gun characters. It's
all the cars,
all the vehicles.
The Tesla is called Bob.
Yeah. Which is actually going to be a new Top Gun character. Yeah. Bob. That'd be quite cool.
But I've pretty much run through all of them, I think.
Yeah.
All of the names, including Charlie, who is the call sign for the instructor lady. So I've used...
That's actually why they had to bring a new film out.
Yeah.
Because we've run out.
Yeah.
Someone else has said, how many vans have you had and what van do you use now?
Oh, well, we've only had the one van.
We've only owned one camper van. We owned it from new. It was a early 2017 model. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But we recently sold it because we've got some other plans coming, haven't we?
Yeah.
Not the aeroplane that you saw on April Fools, but we can't really say much more about that. So there's also some other things in the pipeline as well, which will be interesting.
We've got many things in the pipeline, which is quite exciting.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We just need this pandemic to go away so that they can hurry up and build it and get it to us.
Faith Goodman has asked, what is the red/orange thing behind Lizzie?
That's
this massive beast here is ridiculous. This is I'll let Sean explain.
I got a bit excited and wanted a beastie barbecue, so that's our home barbecue. It's called Kamado Joe, Big Joe. It's enormous, and it's a ceramic barbecue. Obviously no good for camping. It weighs about 150 kilos, something like that. So you should have seen the mission that it was to get it into place. But you'll see above us that I've been, during lockdown, building I've been building a bit of a barbecue hut. It's not finished yet. I need to build a kitchen worktop along here. This is just a bit of a makeshift worktop, a few planks and stuff. But there's a lot more to come of this. But it's not very good for camping though, so it's a bit useless.
That is absolutely lovely. That's crunchy.
Someone asked, when did you start YouTube?
Oh, was it about 4 years ago that we started?
Yeah.
At least now. In fact, is it coming
I
up
think
to
it
5?
says December 2016 on the...
Yeah, so it might be 5 years
on
now.
YouTube. And it was started as a bit of a hobby because I wanted to kind of show our holidays, really, for our own benefit. I just wanted to keep a bit of a log of our trips away.
Do you want this bit?
Yeah, go on.
It might be too hot.
Crunchy? Amazing.
It is good.
yeah, I wanted to show our trips away and keep a bit of like a photo album, really, of our trips, and it all got a bit carried away. It then became far more than it ever initially set out to be. But it's fantastic. We love it. We love doing it.
And it's kept us travelling loads, hasn't it? It's given us so many opportunities that we wouldn't normally have. It's been brilliant, and now that we've got Harvey here, and that we can continue it and hopefully show him the world once lockdown ends.
I'm trying to work out why he keeps looking up there.
Have you done it right?
Another thing to talk about as well was the Beast from the East trip. I wanted a bit of a few stories to tell. And I don't know if so. Some of our viewers will know that we did a trip with a huge bell tent awning called the Glawning, and the initial plan was just to go away for a couple of nights, try out the awning, and then go on to my parents' house in Lincolnshire. But we set off, and this is where you should really look at the forecast before you travel. We got there, and it was a lovely day actually when we arrived. It was cool, but you're not enjoying this story. It was a lovely day when we arrived, and our good friends from the indie projects, they came to visit as well, and it was very nice trip away. But then the weather took a turn for the worst, and we did document this all in the video, but there's a lot of stuff that we didn't cover in the video, and as the weather turned, some of you will know that in this Glawning you have a wood burning stove, which is fantastic. So we're all huddled around this wood burning stove.
We were making pizza on the wood burning stove again.
Yeah, and we just kept having to get closer and closer because the outside temperature was getting colder and colder, and we were really huddled around. And in the end, it got to the stage where the weather was so bad. That looks good.
Crunchy.
The weather was so bad that we couldn't actually then move on to my parents' house, because if we disconnected the awning from the van to take it down, we feared it was going to blow away because the winds were so strong. There was snow all around us, so it was freezing cold, and also we couldn't leave the awning and drive away and go visit, because obviously we didn't think it would still be there. So yeah, it also happened to be when the same time that I got kidney stones. So it was just a bit of a disaster trip, but we survived. We made
We had a
it through,
complete
didn't
game, because when the indie projects left, they actually went to get us supplies, didn't they?
Yeah, because we hadn't planned to be there for that long. They had to go and get us more firewood to keep the.
We had like tins of soup and things, I think, in there, but we didn't have a lot.
It was too cold to use the bed up in the pop top, so we didn't have Harvey at that time, but there was us two and Bentley all sleeping on the bed downstairs.
Well, it was noisy. I think that was more what it was. It wasn't so cold, because we've camped in like -8 degrees before and slept in the pop top and been absolutely fine because it's got a heater.
Yeah, when it's really windy, the wind just whips through the side, a bit like in a tent. And but we were all huddled up. I had to have a hot water bottle on my back where my kidneys were, just to try and relieve the pain. Oh yeah, it was entertaining.
We had a real game there, didn't we? It was really good fun. However, the video looks beautiful.
Yes, yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah. That's where sometimes the way videos are edited, you don't always see the whole lot. We try and cover as much as we can, but yeah, when you're in pain with kidney stones and it's freezing cold outside, you kind of lose the inspiration to film at that stage.
Yeah.
But,
we kept going though, and the videos were pretty interesting. I don't think we showed quite the full story. But on that note, one of the questions was, how do we edit? And how do we learn to do it?
Yeah, so that first of all, I started, didn't I?
Yes.
I had an interest in it anyway, just because I've always found that kind of thing a bit fascinating. I quite like the fact that on an Apple laptop or iMac you get free iMovie, so you can have a play around with that. So I used to have a play around, and I was into it that way anyway. And the good thing about editing is, as you progress and you want to do more, so you want to try different effects, you want to try different colour grading, that kind of thing. Anything that you're unsure about, you can can use YouTube to find out how to do it, and there's tons of stuff on YouTube to give you step-by-steps. Look at this guy. To give you step-by-steps on how to do different things. So so yeah, we did that, and then recently
well, during lockdown last year, because I was furloughed and pregnant, we just decided, well, why don't I learn to edit as well? So most of the videos that you've seen in about the last year have been me editing.
Yeah, you've been doing loads of it, haven't you? Which is great.
And I think
really
we've got a very similar style.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really noticed that it changed from Sean to me. And yeah, you've stopped checking my work.
Yeah. There's certainly a bit of that. Well, I think it was the
well,
confidence,
I wasn't
it?
sure. Yeah, so I still wanted Sean to continually check what I was doing. But now it's getting to the point where when Sean edits a video, I'm like on him and ask him what he's doing, and there's a few new tricks and things that I've learned.
Yeah.
So now it's quite nice because we can both learn different skills, and it'll be interesting to see how it progresses.
It gives us more flexibility as well. So if, especially now having this one, who's obviously riveted in our conversation, one of us can go and film. Yeah, he is. One of us can go and film, come back with the footage whilst the other person edits, and it gives us that bit more flexibility. Right, there's a few questions on here. Let's have a look.
He's just over 6 months now, so he started on solid foods, and I've just given him a really big meal before we came out here, and that's obviously done the trick. He's out like a light. I'm still eating, by the way. Jenny's
autocorrect is hilarious because she says, "I think you're biting your son," but she meant boring, which is true. Let's have a look. So Wizards Design says, "How did you get into camper van reviews?" I think that stemmed from doing the review initially of our own camper van, and it went down really well. People enjoyed watching it, and
I think people were asking like what our opinions were on a lot of other vans too, like how it was going to work for them. And we're very much the sort of people who want to show our viewers what the van is, but we want them also to be able to make their own decisions on what will work for them.
Yeah, we always try and do it as a tour. Like, we'll show people around, and it's up because what works for us won't work for a family of 5, or it won't work necessarily for just a couple. They might not want certain things. So,
or even a couple with a smaller dog, you know.
Yeah.
We've got such a massive dog.
It's not like, I watch car reviews all the time, but there's a million different 4-door saloons, and you want to know why one's better than the other. So yeah, we tend to do it as tours rather than reviews, and it just then allows people to decide whether they want to then go further on, and then once they've seen our video, do they want to actually go and look for themselves. So yeah, we tend to do it like that. But and they tend to be successful, don't they? People enjoy
I really enjoy
them.
them. We do the occasional full-on review, consumer advice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk while I'm eating. They're so good though.
What else we got? Tor says, we're thinking of driving by, I'm not going to say, I can't say that word. Salt Jelsnes, camping on the way south. Do you want a report from there? Absolutely. That was in our video about the top 5 campsites that we want to visit when we can. So that's up in Norway. So absolutely, yeah. And you'll have to tell me again how to say it. I know you did a video and showed me, but someone says, "Oh, is that a Weber Smoky Joe? And what are you cooking on it?" So yeah, we've just done some pizzas, which you can see here.
We've got the Weber here. This is pretty much the camping version. So this is quite a small one. This is probably the second time we've ever used it.
Yeah, it's bad, really. That was one of these situations where I was in a garden centre and it was on offer, and I bought it because it matched our old barbecue, which is over here. That one there. It matched that. It's like a small version of that one, so we bought that.
It's ridiculous how many barbecues we have. And yet we have the camper van as well, which has got hobs and all sorts. So
look at this guy, this is ridiculous.
We did have the camper van. Oh, Harvey.
Fast asleep.
Bless him.
So yeah, we've not used it much. We actually used it on the first ever motorhome trip that we did. We borrowed a motorhome, didn't we? And we from a company down south, and we never actually filmed it because it was way before we even considered doing that.
No.
But it whetted the appetite, didn't it, to go and get ourselves a camper van.
Definitely. And we weren't even sure then. I think one good question to ask is why did we pick the VW California?
And that was quite interesting because that changed over time as well.
It did, yeah. So we were completely, I think it was more me. I was more thinking that we would be better off with a motorhome, which is why we borrowed one. Purely because it's bigger, I thought we'd be able to fit the dog in better. But actually, we then went to VW to have a look at one of the Californias because you'd seen that they had one in.
Yeah.
And the guy just gave us the keys and said, have a look around as you wish to. The pop top was up, and I was absolutely convinced the pop top would not be big enough for the two of us at all. And I figured it would be great if both of us could sleep upstairs and Bentley could sleep downstairs, but I wasn't convinced it was going to be big enough. As soon as we saw one though, it's huge.
Amazing. They're like a Swiss Army knife, you pull up and they just unfold, everything pops out and you set up. It's amazing how much you can fit inside a relatively small vehicle. So we got a bit obsessed, and I think before all that I was adamant that I wanted a toilet on board, but we realised that was a compromise that we were willing to have, and we just went with that, and we absolutely loved it. Also, it means that you can use it as an everyday vehicle, which
I think that was the biggest part too, the fact that we could use it as an everyday vehicle and we didn't have to buy another car as well, and we didn't know how much we were going to use the camper van. And I think a lot of people go through this because it's quite a big vehicle. It is quite a lot to take on, isn't it? But it's perfect, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Another question here as well. Tippers says, is a factory California any better than a conversion like Westphalia, etc.? It completely depends on what you want from a van.
Bentley's right here. He wants some pizza.
Each van has its pros and cons. Some, like a California, we really liked the build quality. We really liked the fact that if you have an issue with it, you can just go to any VW dealership and get it fixed. The residuals are really good on a California.
We've covered this in quite a lot of our videos as well, so if you are new and you want to see what we're up to, check us out on YouTube. It's under Bus and Beyond, and you'll be able to find all about what we do, our camper van. Probably one of the latest videos is we sold our camper van, but don't panic, we have got plans.
But also with a conversion, if you want something bespoke, if you want it to have real cool, vibrant colours and things like that, well, you don't get that from a factory California. So there's pros and cons, and also at the minute residuals on any camper van motorhome is fantastic. So you don't really have anything to worry about. Have we got any more questions before we've been going on a bit, haven't we, for a little while? I think we've covered the questions on here.
Shall I have a look on my phone? Where's that go?
Someone says, is the Ridgemonkey made out of cast iron?
I'd say so.
It's definitely metal. I don't know if it's quite as robust as cast iron, to be honest.
I mean, it is really very robust.
Yeah.
And it's very thick as well, which is how you sort of manage not to burn the bottom of stuff generally.
Someone says your baby is so relaxed. Just hilarious, this, isn't it? Can't believe he's fast asleep.
He does this all the time though. We were sat in our friend's garden yesterday, weren't we? Because now that lockdown's eased a little bit and we can join other families in the garden, we've sat in their garden, and I had Harvey in my arms and he just fell asleep. I didn't do anything, he just fell asleep, so we're very lucky.
Yeah. Someone has asked,
we're aware of how lucky we are.
What's the link with Cotswold Outdoors? So Cotswold Outdoors got in touch with us and said that they're having this weekend bonanza of camping masterclass. And
I think their idea is just to
masterclass, depending on where you come from.
But their idea is just to get everyone out and enjoying outside again, and especially after lockdown and things like that, and the sun coming out, it's nice to get out. So they've asked us just to give you guys a bit of a masterclass on how to use equipment, really.
And if you
whatever, the fact that you can do pizza in a barbecue, I think we've proved is fantastic.
If you go onto their Instagram page as well and have a good look through, there are a couple of guys yesterday doing videos. One was about from the Veggie Vagabonds about sustainable camping, and also there's some yoga coming up as well. So
we'll be trying that out. We'll be
I might keep him attached to me so that I don't have to do it.
No, you'll have to do it still. Baby
really?
yoga's a thing.
Oh yeah. Well, you can have the dog attached to you then.
He's massive. Can you imagine? He's been getting a few bits of pizza too.
Tippers has also asked, how's security on your Cali? Are they very nickable? Kind of sounds a bit like you're planning on stealing one. But the security is as good as any vehicle, I think.
Yeah.
You take measures to make sure that it's locked up when you're on a campsite and away and stuff. But
the thing is, on a campsite as well, you might have the pop top up, and a lot of people have been like, "Oh, do you leave the pop top up when you're not there?" Well, on a campsite, it's generally pretty secure.
Yeah, I think you have to. There's only so much you can do, isn't there? Otherwise, you're constantly worried. Plus, we've sold it now, but we used to own a Land Rover Defender, and they're about as nickable as it gets. So yeah, anything is good compared to that.
To the point that one night at 2 a.m, Sean was looking out the window and he said, "Someone's nicking the Land Rover," and I leapt out of bed, only to find that all it was one of the neighbours was parking in the corner, and the lights were shining, and it looked like someone was driving out of our driveway.
Yeah, and it was quite an old diesel engine, so it sounded like the Defender.
It was funny.
How was it driving on the wrong side of the road in Europe? Once you've negotiated the first roundabout, which is usually in Calais, it's absolutely fine.
They've got
it's
a lot
so
of signs
easy.
reminding you too, haven't they?
Yeah, and it's a lot easier if you have a passenger who can do the tolls for you. On one of our trips, Bentley decided that he wanted to keep climbing through the middle and try and get into the front. So as a result of that, Lizzie had to travel in the back with him, and therefore I was left to fend for myself at every toll booth, which was...
I just ended up filming because it was hilarious watching him clamber across the seats to try, and especially in the Grand Cali because it's so much bigger.
It's a bit of a procedure, isn't it? I have to stop, undo my seatbelt, dive across. In fact, it was easier.
It's one of those grabby sticks, you know, those long, like, they have like animals or things on the end.
Yeah, or what you can do is you can get like data tag things where it just automatically bills you.
That's the more boring option.
Yeah, it is the more boring option, definitely. But yeah, so I think we've kind of covered all the questions, haven't we?
Definitely, yeah.
We've
and I think
made 2 pizzas.
We've successfully, and I've eaten quite a lot of it, but we've successfully made a melted, crispy, yummy pizza.
Which I need to eat because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I bet you are. Well, Bentley's fishing around for food as well. You keep thinking that more's going to drop for him. So.
Yes, yeah. But thank you so much for coming along on this little masterclass that we've...
Thank you to Cotswold Outdoors for inviting us. It's been nice getting to chat to you all.
Stay tuned for later on today and for tomorrow as well, where there's more classes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, and we will see you all very soon. And don't forget to subscribe to Above and Beyond on YouTube if you want to see more of our travels and adventures and reviews.
Yeah, and also tag us as well in your pizza making photos because we really want to see what you made. Try not to burn the bottom. Not too hot.
Yeah.
But yes.
Use an oven if you're at home. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
No, use a barbecue.
Or Dominoes.
It's more fun. Dominoes.
Well, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
Very soon. Bye everyone.
Bye. Do you know how to turn this off?
No.